Right, Steeler fans, it's time to go behind enemy lines. Week 12, Steelers head to Soldier Field in Chicago, a place they haven't won since 1995. Interesting fact there for anyone that doesn't know. We have OGQ from the Frustrated Chicago Sports Fan podcast. He's a part of Pay's team. What's up? How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. How you feeling?
I'm okay. I'm curious about the Chicago game. This is one of those weird things. Mike Tomlin spoke to the media Tuesday and even said it himself. We don't play the Chicago Bears that often, and so it's not a common opponent. They gonna have to get to know these teams. And I'm curious is your take on the current Bears. They're first place in the NFC North. Look real impressive. What's your takeaway of Ben Johnson's first year at the helm? Let's start there.
Ben Johnson. This was the guy I've been calling for to be head coach for us for 2 years. So I'm real pleased. He's doing exactly what I thought he would do. I thought he was very creative offensively, that he's more than capable of grooming a young quarterback, which we have. And one of the things that I wanted from a new coach was the building of culture. I think that's very important, very critical. So over the last couple of years, we've had bad records, but observing the team, you see they don't know how to close games. You see they mess up at the end. It's almost a waiting game of the last 3 years of figuring out how we're going to lose. I know everybody, national media zeroed in on the Hail Mary, the game against Commanders last year when we let a Hail Mary, but there's been a calamity of mistakes. That was the game that got the attention of national media, but there were so many games where coaching miscues. Um, Players just seem like they're expecting to lose. I believe in manifestation. So I believe the team just was manifesting losses. And now we have a total culture change. We have a guy who, I don't want to misuse this term. I think this is so overused in today's climate. We have an alpha in the room. We have a guy that takes accountability and a guy with a plan and a vision. So as far as Ben Johnson, I'm very satisfied with the hire. And I think he's got the organization moving in the right direction.
Well, what's crazy though is you talk about the fail Mary, as you referred to it, the loss to the Washington Commanders last year, and then you compare it to what's happened with this year, and it seems like you all are on the other side of things. Whether it was the game in Cincinnati with wasn't it Loveland, the tight end that caught the
Yeah,
pass down
yeah,
the middle
yeah.
and just.
Yeah.
I mean, it's insane. Like you're winning these close games. Even last week against Minnesota, coming back and having the field goal kick to win it. It just seems like things are turning and the tides are turning in the Bears' favor. I want to ask about the quarterback play because Ben Johnson, offensive guru, we all saw what he did with the Detroit Lions. You all saw it twice a year, considering NFC North opponent. Has Caleb Williams really embraced his philosophy, and have you seen that play out on the field so far?
So I think Caleb Williams has definitely embraced the philosophy, and I don't think the stats will reflect it. I think he's doing statistically a little bit better than last year. I mean, last year he didn't have a bad year statistically. I think he's going to throw for more yards, a few more touchdowns. He might actually throw for an interception or two more, but he only threw 6 last year. I think he's got 3 or 4 through the first 10 games. But the difference that I've seen on the field is his command of the offense, better in situational football. That's been the big key with Caleb, understanding the checks at the line of scrimmage. Last year, he took 68 sacks. I think he has 15 through 10 games this year, or 16. It's less than 2 a game, but that's
Yeah.
because he's embraced the quarterback position as a whole. It's not just about throwing the football. There are things that you need to understand the line of scrimmage. There are guys who got to set in motion, command of the huddle. And I think Caleb is really starting to master that instead of just being a talented guy, being more of a cerebral football player, because quarterback isn't just about what you do in those plays. It's about things you do before the snap, pre-snap. That's been the biggest change I've seen in Caleb this year under Ben Johnson, the understanding of the game, knowing where to go with the ball, knowing when to check out a certain plays, especially when you see certain coverages or certain alignments pre-snap. So that's where the biggest improvement I've seen from Ben Johnson is.
With Caleb Williams, he's such an athlete, but do they use him like this? Say the Eagles use Jalen Hurts, or any number of quarterbacks that are also able to run the football. Do they have design runs for him, or do they just really we want you to throw the football, and if things break down, use that athleticism to break the pocket and make a play with your legs. Does Ben Johnson believe in that? Because he went from Jared Goff, who is not a mobile quarterback. What's been that like this year for Caleb Williams in the running aspect?
So you see Caleb Williams, you see some of the elusive plays, you see some of the good scrambles, you see some of the good runs. I think I can count on one hand how many design runs he's actually had called for him this year.
Okay.
And watching him in Oklahoma and USC, he is a much better athlete than anticipated. I said this during the pre-draft, uh, uh, during a lot of our pre-draft shows when we were wondering if we were going to take Caleb Williams. He is a good athlete. I would actually like to see more design running plays. Not too many, because I think you put the quarterback in harm's way when you do that. When you start having them, treat like guys who aren't used to lowering their shoulder, you start to see the concussions and the injuries piling up. We saw that with Jackson Dart a couple weeks
Yep.
ago. You've seen that with Jaden Daniels. So I would like to see the Bears maybe simplify reads and rollouts to where he gets a high-low read. If neither are open, he runs. I would like to see that. I do want to see them take advantage of his legs more, because usually when you see him running, it's you know 3, 5, 5 or 7 step drops and he doesn't see it, so he makes something happen. But no, you're not going to see a lot of design runs. At least that's not what we've seen so far through the first 10 games from Caleb Williams.
All right. So the Bears do have a lot of names on their offense. DJ Moore, Roma Dunze, he talks about DeAndre Swift. Give me a player on offense that the Steelers fan base, unless you're like a real diehard NFL fan, they might not know this name, but they might know it after Sunday because he's been playing well this year. Is there a player on offense that would fit that description?
I would say Darnell Wright, the right
Okay.
tackle that we drafted 3 years ago. He's really coming to his own. He's part of the reason why the running game is so much improved and why the pass protection is so much improved. So the first year or two, Darnell kind of struggled. And even this year, he struggled with a lot of pre-snap penalties. But this year, after his elbow injury, missed a game and a half, he's really blossomed. And Steelers fans are going to get to know him because I anticipate TJ Watt lining over him a lot. TJ usually
Yes.
rushes from that left side. They might move him.
99% of the time. Yeah.
Yeah, they might move. They may. I don't see them move him too often.
No.
I would suggest, if I were still as defense coordinator, moving him to the blind side, the weak side of the formation over Theo Benedict, because that's an undrafted free agent starting the left tackle. But yeah, Darnell Wright is a guy that Steelers fans are going to know. He's an absolute monster in the run game. He's absolutely flatlined a couple defenders. There was one play that has been played on social media where Bengals first round pick Shamar Stewart, he just literally obliterated him, took him off out of the field. It was about he drove him about 8 yards down the formation. It was crazy.
Okay, let's go to the defensive side. Again, when people think Chicago Bears, it's a lot of the names that I just mentioned. What about the defense? Just from a holistic perspective, a global perspective, if you will. How's the defense been for Chicago this year?
So the numbers don't support them being a good defense, but the one thing they do very well is they take the ball away. They got three guys literally at the top of the interceptions leader with four. They're in a three-way tie with 4 interceptions. So that's Kevin Byard, Nashawn Wright, and Tremaine Edmonds. Now they will give up a lot of yards, but in the red zone they stiffen up and they've been able to take the ball away. So part of the reason why the Bears defense has been a little bit down this year in terms of yards given, they've been missing some key starters. Pro Bowl corner Jalen Johnson, he's a two-time Pro Bowler. He's played one half of a game. No, I don't even think one half. I think he's played one quarter. He came back from preseason injury, immediately got hurt in the second game of the season, his debut. So he might be back this week. Kyler Gordon is a fantastic nickel back. I know maybe the common fan doesn't know who he is, but he's one of the better nickel backs in the game. I had him just under the kid from the Chiefs. Name escapes you right now. Was it McDuffie?
Yeah.
Duffy. I had him right under that kid from the Chiefs. He's a very good nickel. He's exceptional on blitzes. He's very good on run support. He's very good at mirroring shifty slot receivers. And then another guy that's probably on his way back is TJ Edwards. He might need another week, but he's a linebacker for the Bears. Played weak side last year, moved inside. He's an absolute tackle machine. So those are three guys that they come back, that'll impact the Bears defense a lot.
Okay, now I do have to ask, what's your take on potentially playing Aaron Rodgers again? As someone that you've known in Green Bay and all those years, he's banged up. We got the fracture in the left wrist. I don't know. Everyone has their own opinion on whether he'll play or not. But what's your take on who you might face for the Steelers? Are you okay playing Rodgers, considering how he's played this year, or are you saying I don't want that guy anywhere near Soldier Field?
Listen, you know how when you're a kid, you're afraid of the boogeyman. You're afraid of what's in the closet. You're afraid of what's under the bed. But to get to be a big kid and to grow up, you got to conquer those fears. Aaron Rodgers is the boogeyman of Bears Nation. He has put belt to our asses for well over a decade. In fact, the year that you all played the Packers in a Super Bowl, Aaron Rodgers came into Chicago in the NFC Championship and absolutely broke our hearts, ripped our hearts out of the chest. I thought that was a really good Bears team. We had Jay Cutler at the helm, uh, Devin Hester at receiver, Johnny Knox at receiver, I believe. Yeah, it was a really good Bears team, really good run game. Matt Forte back there, really good defense. One of the better defenses we've seen from the Bears this century. And I watched 2006 Super Bowl defense. But yeah, Aaron Rodgers has definitely been a boogeyman. I do want to face him. I absolutely want to face him because that guy cannot retire without getting a loss from the Bears. I absolutely refuse it. I got to heal him myself. I don't know what you all have to do, design a cast. He can have my left arm. I need him out there. I need the Bears to beat him before he retires.
Fair enough. I get it. I totally get it. And I just was curious because he has such a history in that division, and I definitely wanted to ask you guys about it. So I'm glad you offered that up. Now I do want to ask you a question. I want to go back to offense for a second, then we're going to come back to the defense. I want you to think about if you were the opposing team. So if you're the Steelers defense going against the Bears offense, what plan would you devise to really hone in on the weaknesses of that offense? No offense is perfect. No defense is perfect. What would you do if you were the opposing coordinator? So, this case, the Steelers defense going up against Caleb Williams in that offense. What would you do to try to slow him down?
Well, first of all, I would I would devise a lot of pressure coming off that left side. Theo Benedict is probably the weak link in the Bears offensive line. It's a really good unit. But he's a guy, like I said, he's an undrafted free agent, his first year starting. That'd be the first area I attack. The next area I would attack is the run game. Everything in Ben Johnson's offense, dating back from Detroit to now, is centered around the run, play action. They keep the chains moving. They got a good offensive line. DeAndre Swift and Kyle Manunga have really found a rhythm in the running game. So the first area of business as a defensive coordinator, if I was going up against this Bears offense, would be to stop the run, get Caleb in a second and third and longs. Because the Bears, they've been better in third and long, but there's an area of weakness you can beat them. Caleb is only completing 60% of his passes. So that they've struggled with that connection. They haven't been very good connecting downfield. So I
Yeah.
would definitely challenge the Bears. I would challenge Caleb to beat me over the top. I would play man.
Mhm.
I would press the receivers at the line of scrimmage. If you can get deep and you could beat me, so be it. But the Bears have not been able to connect. Caleb has been he's still not displaying consistent accuracy going downfield. So yeah, if I were the Steelers or any defense going up against the Bears, I would challenge Caleb to beat me downfield
Okay.
because he's shown the accuracy in the short and intermediate range. He's also been able to get things going with his legs. So I would definitely have a spy, and I would challenge him to beat me deep.
All right. So let's flip the script now. If you're the Steelers offense going against the Bears defense, what does that plan look like?
That plan looks like attacking that secondary. That secondary has been the weakness all year. We don't know if Jalen Johnson and Kyler Gordon will be back. They should be back soon. I don't know if they'll be back this week. But the Bears are giving up a lot of air yards. They've given up a lot of plays in the air. Now they've been very good with turnovers. That's been the one saving grace. But you can throw the ball on them. And up until recently, you've been able to run on them. Now the run defense is shored up a little bit. We've gotten some healthy bodies back. Grady Jarrett is showing life. Cody Billings, I know you all seen him in the AFC North. I believe he was with the was he with the Bengals or the Browns? I believe he was with the Bengals. He was with the Bengals for a while, but he's a big man in the middle. And he he eats up a lot of doubles. So if I'm offense attacking the Bears defense, I'm going right after Nashawn Wright. Even though he leads the league in interceptions, he gives up a lot of plays. He doesn't turn well in coverage. The hips are a little tight. He's a tall guy, 6'4". So I would go right on the perimeter. Tyreek Stevenson, the one who was responsible for the failed Mary, he's played a lot better, but he's beatable too. The Bears corners are very aggressive and very beatable. So they're playing shorthanded at corner. That would be where I would attack.
Okay. Now I want to ask you, I don't need a score prediction. It's way too early in this process, but the Steelers are getting 3 points in this game. It's a standard home spread with a total of 45.5. If you were to just take a guess, how do you see this game playing out on Sunday?
I see this game being very close to the end. That's how the Bears have played. I feel like the Steelers have been uncharacteristically um, inconsistent defensively. I feel like that's been their staple for so many years. They back to when I was a kid. I remember the Kevin Green and Levon Kirkland and Carnell Lake, those guys on the Steelers. So the Steelers have been a good defense for as long as I can remember. They're having a down year this year. So I think the Bears offense will be able to move the ball. I think Aaron Rodgers will be pumped up. If he does play, he will be pumped up. I see this being a close matchup. I don't know if Jalen Warren is playing. Is he going this week?
Tomlin said that he might be limited a little bit in the early portions of the week, but he should be good to go for Sunday.
Yeah, if Jalen and Aaron are healthy, this is the Steelers team that's desperate too.
Yeah.
So I think 6-4.
6-4 with a 1-game lead over the Ravens. They have a very
Yeah, and the
slim
Ravens,
margin.
the Ravens are breathing down their necks. So I expect this to be a very competitive game as long as Aaron Rodgers plays. Now, if Mason Rudolph plays, I do understand he is a very capable backup,
Sure.
but I just don't see Mason being explosive enough to expose the weaknesses in this Bears defense. So if Aaron is good to go, I see this being a close matchup.
Okay. Well, I want to give you a chance to plug what you guys are doing over there with the Frustrated Chicago Sports Fan podcast and any social media handles, stuff like that. Go ahead and do that now.
So you can get us at Spotify, YouTube, TikTok, Frustrated Chicago Sports Fan. We're all over there. My personal page is you can find me on Facebook. I got 2 Facebook pages because sometimes I can't stay out of trouble. I get a little too passionate. We all my page with 6,000 followers is Quentin L. My other page with I think I've got 600, 500 friends, followers is OGQOH space GEEQUE. Instagram is the same one with dashes. TikTok is the same one, OGQ. Those are all my handles. So you head over to my page, you'll have a good time. Not just sports. I'm sure to entertain. So check me
I
out.
love it. Well, thank you for your time. Enjoy the game this weekend. We'll be in touch. Appreciate it.
You do the same. Thank you.
Thanks for listening to this latest episode from the Frustrated Chicago Sports Fan Channel. Don't matter if you listen to this on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or watch it on Twitch or YouTube. Make sure you like, subscribe, share with a friend, hit the notification bell so you never miss a drop. And to all the guys from Chicago, we say 3 things. Bear down, go Cubs go, and sell the team, Jerry.